Hello, beautiful people. Hope you're doing well. I was just inspired to come on and do a quick YouTube video and just to kind of give a little bit of a spiritual, shout out. But, you know, something that I often hear people say whenever I share, spiritual information or, maybe higher knowledge. The common question I get asked by people is, well, how do you know and where is the proof? And this is very, very common because when your consciousness or awareness is, on the lower level, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, I'm just trying to explain that consciousness has many levels to it, okay? And we're all on different levels of consciousness. And right now, what we're going through is an evolution of consciousness where we're all evolving and moving up in awareness, okay? So if you have a certain level of awareness or consciousness, let's just, for sake of argument, have it here. At this level of awareness, you're only able to see from the lens of the level of awareness that you vibrate at. Okay? So let's use 3D as an example. And 3D simply means that you're only able to understand and see the physicality and like the physical of a situation or of something. But when you're presented with information that is of a higher awareness, which means a bigger perspective, a bigger understanding of what is happening outside of the 3D, outside of the physicality, it is really difficult to understand if you're only resonating at this level, okay? And this is what I always try to say to people when they say, well, how do you know? How do you know for sure that's true? How do you know that's really going on? Where are you getting your information? And my only answer to that is you will be presented with the information that your awareness and consciousness is capable of understanding or holding at the time. Okay? Because evolution is about increasing awareness, increasing, your consciousness, your perspective, your understanding of life, of spirituality, of energy, of everything that is so much more than what we have been led to believe. So, this is where I ask people, when you're presented with information that is difficult to understand and your belief systems come in and block it right away and say, well, I don't believe that. I don't believe that's true because I don't see it. I need proof. Have a little bit of an open mind and try to listen to your heart instead of listen to your mind. Because the ego is always going to try to keep you stuck in that lower level of consciousness. Okay? We all have ego. Um, it's just that when you work, when you do the inner work and you start to work on your old limiting beliefs, old wounds, old traumas, and you transmute these energies, it helps your ego become less in control. You're never going to get rid of your ego. We have to integrate that part of us. It's that shadow part of us, right? We are the light and we are the dark. And the ego is always wanting to be in charge. It's always going to try to protect you. So if something's coming at you and it's like, no, that's not true. I don't want to see it. I don't want to believe it. And you shut it out. Okay, this is the ego at play. And this is why I always say to people, whenever you hear something and you don't understand it or it doesn't make sense, doesn't mean it's not true. What you cannot see doesn't mean it doesn't exist because we are all energy and everything around us is a vibration. So if you're vibrating at a low vibration, you're not going to see the higher vibration. Okay? You're not going to be able to see it or understand it because you're not vibrating at that level. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And this is where the open mindedness needs to be more, we need to be more aware of how we receive information, collective information, information that's coming from sources that, people are quick to say, well, that's got to be a conspiracy, or that's got to be woo woo, or, that person is out to lunch. These are ego judgments that are being made as a means of blocking yourself from understanding what's really, really out there. Okay. So this is all about breaking down the paradigms of your old beliefs, your old belief systems that all of us have been holding on to, because that's what we've been taught to believe. We've been taught from a young age that this is the way it is. This is how life is. This is how the world is. This is how this works. That is a limiting belief because that was given and it was programmed into us as a program, as a level of consciousness that we vibrate at. And therefore, anything outside of that program, outside of that paradigm, has to be fake. It has to be fake news or misinformation, right? And this is how our brains were wired. But we've reached a place right now where we're all being asked to just allow your consciousness to expand. And how do we expand our consciousness? Well, by having an open mind. Having an open mind to the possibility that perhaps what you once believed was true might not be true anymore. And that the information that you're being presented with, that you have a difficult time believing or understanding, might be true. It's just having that, awareness that, there could be truth. And this is what it's all about. This is how people evolve and grow, is by having an open mind to the possibilities. Because when you don't have an open mind, you are not growing, you are not evolving, and you are potentially blocking out amazing opportunities in your life, amazing opportunities of growth and realizations and understandings. And it's really sad because, we're all being given the opportunity right now to do this, to really just sit, listen to our heart, because our heart is our true guiding system. This is where the truth resides, okay? You can be told something and you can either process it with your ego or you can process it with your heart. And if you can process it with both, that's great. But that just means that you have to be able to hold the possibility that there may be some truths to information that may be coming out in the collective over the next little while. And we need to stop labeling things because that is an ego projection. When you call somebody a conspiracy theorist, that is simply your ego trying to block out something that goes against your belief systems, and you project that out. That is not being open-minded. So if you hear something that may not feel true to you, or you don't believe it, or you have a hard time believing it, rather than shutting it out and saying that's bull, just sit with it for a minute. Sit and ask your heart, tell me about this information. Is this true? Could this be true? Could there be some truth? And then you feel in your heart, because your heart never lies. You will know, you will get like a resonance or an understanding, or, just a sudden feeling that, oh wow, like, you know what? Like, this feels like, it feels good. It feels like it could be true, right? And I think humanity has forgotten how to utilize these gifts that we have. We all have the gift within us of intuition and perception and understanding. It's just that we have been blocked from this because of the heavy programming that we all have endured. That's all been done to us through your mainstream media, through the governments, through groups of people that have been corrupted and trying to, um, essentially control the collective's energy and the collective's growth. They didn't want humanity to evolve because when humanity evolves, we become more powerful. We become bigger and more knowing of what is truly going on. And that really scares people that are in positions of power because when the majority of humanity evolves and grows and learns and understands the truths of what has been unfolding on planet Earth and to humanity for eons, that would be the end of the corruption. And this is what essentially we're going through right now. This is what we're experiencing right now with all the chaos that we're witnessing, with the corruption in the governments and the corruption happening within the medical system and all of these corruption and dark energies that are being brought to the surface right now. And it's chaos and it's divisive and it's polarized and it feels like we're in a war, which we are. We're in a spiritual war, and the war has always been against our consciousness. They have been trying to suppress humanity's consciousness because they feared and knew that the day would come when humanity would awaken. And this is what the Great Awakening is all about. It is an evolution of consciousness where we begin to grow, evolve, expand, and have a deeper awareness and a deeper knowing of what the truths really, really are. So, how do we get there? Well, it is all our own responsibility, and we all need to just learn to control our energy and how to feel that energy within. And, I'm not here to force anybody to believe anything that I share. I am simply sharing my truths through the awareness and understanding that I have because of the consciousness where I'm at. And I'm evolving, I'm growing, I've learned and learned so much about a lot of things. And many people are going through this right now too. Many people are awakening. Many people are um, in shock about what they're learning, about what's been happening to humanity, what has truly been unfolding on the planet, why we are in the situation that we're at. Why does the world seem in chaos? Why does the world feel like it's end times? These are all realizations and inner knowings that you gain and understand when you begin to expand your awareness, expand your consciousness, and allow this information to just come into your energy. And then let it, let it just sit and let your heart guide you to the truth. There is a lot of misinformation everywhere right now. There's misinformation being done intentionally to confuse people, to trick people, to keep people stuck. And the only way you're going to know what the truth is by feeling the truth. You feel the truth within. You watch something that's happening and then you feel it and you let your inner self, your inner guiding system, allow you to help you to understand, is that truthful? Or is that a lie? Or is that a distraction? Or is that a manipulation? You know, these are things that people are starting to learn and understand, and it's an evolution. This is what we're going through. So there's going to be a lot of information that is going to be disclosed or shared or put out there for the collective to see. And many people I see right now are really projecting because they are coming from a place of fear and a place of ego. They're not being open-minded. Okay? And this is what I'm asking of people who are watching this. Because if you're watching this information, then I'm going to just assume that you have some awareness of what may be going on the planet Earth and spiritually. You know, otherwise this isn't going to make any sense to you. But yeah, I just wanted to share that information because, you know, my job is to help humanity to share truths and to help guide people who may be on the path of awakening and starting to ask the questions, starting to understand what's going on, but maybe be a little bit confused. And this is just, think of it as just a source of information that may help you to decipher what you may be experiencing and what you're going through. Because many of us are going through this right now. Many people are going through this awakening process. Now, I experienced my awakening and understanding a few years ago, and I've been learning a lot. I've been doing a lot of work within myself in order for me to gain a better understanding of who I truly am and what, you know, what strengths and powers I truly have within me, because we all have power and energy within us. When you learn and discover who you truly are, it really changes everything. And you just drop the fear. You drop the fear, you drop the illusion, and you start to feel from your heart. And that is where we're moving into. That is where humanity, the collective, we are slowly evolving into the unity consciousness, um, also known as the 5D or the new earth. You know, we've just entered into the new age of Aquarius, which is a new higher vibrational energy that we're going into. And in order for the collective to shift into this next evolution, this next chapter, shall we say, we all need to raise our consciousness. We need to raise our vibration, our energy. And this is all done individually as well as collectively. And so if we do the work and we work on ourselves, we ultimately ripple out and help the collective. It's always been that way. We are all connected. We are all one. We all come from the same source creator. So when you understand that we're all connected and we all affect each other, we can affect each other for the negative, but we're shifting that. And now we're moving towards affecting everybody for the positive, for the good, for the greater good of humanity. So I encourage you to keep an open mind, keep an open heart, and when you start to see information that may just sound ridiculous or completely out to lunch, before you dismiss it, before you reject it, just for a moment, just tap into your heart and let it tell you what is truth. And that's all I wanted to share today. Just a little bit of spiritual, you know, information, a little bit of spiritual education. And when you start to listen to your heart, you will know what is truthful. You will always be guided to the truth, no matter what. And this is where the discernment comes from as well, by the way. This is how your intuition becomes stronger, is that the more you tap into this part of you, the more you'll be able to determine what is true, what is not true, what is false, what is an illusion. You know, it's easy to spot when you know that your intuition and your heart, you're always being guided to the truth if you're listening. All right? Anyways, I wish everybody a wonderful day. Love, light, and peace to everybody. Bye for now.